Hello everyone! Welcome to today's deck profile. Today I'm doing a personal favorite of mine. These are the Watts. It's a very fun kind of control deck based around your Watt Hopper, who stops a lot of your opponent's aggressive plays so that your Watts can continuously poke indirectly for some small damage. As always, these are a recommendation. I'm not saying this is the one way to play the deck. This is just how I play it. I play a much more pure version. So without further ado, let's hop on in. If you like what you're seeing, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment for more. So first up, the heart and soul of the deck. 3 copies of Watt Hopper. Watt Hopper's a level 1 light thunder monster with 0 attack and defense, and it has the effect your opponent cannot select another Watt monster for an attack target or target them with card effects. The main point of this build of the deck is to get 2 Watt Hoppers on your side of the field and then sit on them. These guys are just creating a scenario where you can continuously punch your opponent and they can't really hit you back. Next up, the second best card in this deck, Watt Cobra. We play this at 3 as well. It's a level 4 light thunder monster. This card can attack your opponent directly, and when it deals battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, add a Watt monster from deck to hand. So this is your one of 2 searchers in the deck. It's fantastic. It puts your opponent on an 8-turn clock, especially if they can't punch back, because you have your Watt Hopper on field. So Watt Cobra is definitely a fantastic one to slowly build up your board state. Another one is Watt Dragonfly. This one helps you, once again, get to your Watt Hopper. Because whenever Watt Dragonfly is destroyed by an opponent's card, whether it's by card effect or battle, you can special summon a Watt monster from your deck. Whether you go into another Dragonfly, or of course, you go into a Watt Hopper to create the lock, Watt Dragonfly is definitely a fantastic addition to the deck. For some 2-ofs, I play 2 Lemur. Watt Lemur is a level 2 Thunder light monster with 800 attack. When this card is destroyed by an opponent's card, they cannot conduct their next battle phase. So this gives you pretty much 1 turn to try to summon your Watt Hoppers, get the lock going. Or if you already have the Watt lock, it's just a great way to continue your plays. Next up for the tuners, play 2 copies of Watt Beta, level 2 Thunder Tuner monster. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, your opponent discards 1 card of their choice. That is the fun part about this deck. You do get to do a lot of hand rips between Watt Beta, Watt Chimera, who we'll get into, and this next card, which is Watt Beta Inks. If this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, discard 1 card from your opponent's hand. Level 3, 300 attack. It's a decent card, but honestly, the 2 fish, the only reason you're going to use them is to go into your synchro plays. You can eventually attack directly with them once you get to a Watt key, but you rarely want to worry about that with your Beta Inks. For 1-of, I do play 1 Watt Fox, the level 2 tuner. If this card is destroyed by an opponent's card, your opponent cannot special summon a monster, activate spells, traps, or their effects, or monster effects for the rest of the turn. Effectively, if your opponent destroys this card, they're done for the turn. They can't summon, they can't activate anything, they can attack, that's it. But otherwise, Watt Fox just kind of stops their turn. That is it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells. This is one of the best cards ever printed for an archetype. Genuinely, if Watts had any competitive capabilities, this card would be banned. Its effect reads, add Watt cards with different names from your deck to your hand. Cards, not monsters. Cards. Up to the number of Thunder monsters you control with different names. During your main phase, except the turn this is sent to the graveyard, you can banish that card. Special summon as many Watt monsters as possible from your hand with different names. Ridiculous card. This can search out their Watt key, Watt scene, or even their in-archetype Solemn in Watt cancel. Not to mention any of their monster lineup. Genuinely a fantastic card for the archetype. and definitely one that you want to play at 3. One that I'm not too sure about, and I've tested it at 2, but I kind of like it at 3, is Wat Ki. This will let your Wat monsters, like the Betas and the Lemur, attack your opponent directly. Wat Ki allows all face-up Wat monsters you control to attack your opponent directly. It's not much, but it is a good way to ensure you can get the hand rips going once you get into the control part of the game. Another fun one is Wat Scene. It's a continuous spell. When a thunder monster you control inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you gain life equal to the damage inflicted. It's a hilarious card to get your life points ridiculously high. Plus, they stack if you have multiple. So I'm a huge fan of Wat Scene, and I would play it mainly for the memes because this is more of a rogue deck. But either way, very fun card. Next up, I play 3 Periodize Map. For obvious reasons, it will add your Wat Hopper from deck to hand, and then you can immediately normal summon it and continue with your turn. Just a good search card. I play 3 Pot of Extrav. My third one is in a deck at the moment, but you don't really care too much about your extra deck. As long as you can get your Hopper out and something like a Wat Cobra, you're able to get your win con. But definitely a good draw card in this deck. For the 1-ofs, I play 1 for 1. It does what most of these cards do. It gets you your Wat Hopper. 1 Foolish, which will also get you your Wat Hopper. And Monster Reborn, because this is an older deck. Monster Reborn is just kind of good. It's a good way to get it back. They do have an archetype trap that revives them, but it does kill whatever you revive at the end of the turn, which I guess works, but I prefer Monster Reborn to it. For the trap cards, I play 3 copies of Limit Reverse. You can target a monster in your graveyard with 1,000 or less attack, special summon it in attack position. If it's changed to defense position, destroy this card and the monster. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. It is kind of like Call of the Haunted, but only for monsters with 1,000 or less attack, which is your Wat Hopper, but generally any monster in your main deck can be summoned back with Limit Reverse. Finally, I play 3 copies of Wat Cancel. This is an in-archetype Solemn. When your opponents would normal or special summon a monster, discard a Wat monster to negate the summon and destroy that monster. So, in-archetype, meaning you can search it with your Wat Train. You can also discard your Wat Hopper and then summon it back with like a Limit Reverse, which is kind of cool. So definitely, I think Wat Cancel is a necessary 3-of in this deck for the control aspect. Moving on to the extra deck, I play 3 copies of Wat Chimera. This is the best one in the extra deck. 1400 level 6 Thunder Light Synchro monster. Takes a Wat Tuner and 1 or more non-tuner Thunder monsters. This card can attack your opponent directly. When it inflicts battle damage to your opponent by direct attack, place 1 random card from your opponent's hand on top of their deck. So it's another one of that kind of hand rip cards. Wat Chimera is definitely the one you want to go into for the extra deck. He's just my preference. They do have Wat Hydra, which is a level 7 Light Thunder monster that takes a Wat Tuner and 1 or more non-tuner Thunder monsters. This one, when it can attack directly, and when it inflicts battle damage to your opponent by direct attack, choose a card from your deck, remove it from play, then add it to your hand during your second standby phase after activating this effect. This is a gold sarcophagus on legs, which is fine and all, but it's not really worth giving up something like your Wat Cobra that will continuously give you pluses, continuously search. That's all I play in the extra deck. Everything else is kind of up to you. These are the ones I would recommend as 3-ofs. From here, you can play any type of extra deck. Summon Summoner, rank 4s, rank 1s, rank 2s, rank 3s. You can do a link package. It's kind of up to you what you play after these 6. But that is my deck. There's not really too much combo in the deck. It's mainly just trying to get your 2 Wat Hoppers on the board and then kind of slowly getting advantage with like a Wat Cobra or your Watt Train. So after you get your 2 Watt Hoppers, you just kind of play King of the Castle and continuously punch direct with your Watt Cobra until eventually you either take out your opponent in 8 turns with Watt Cobra, or they take out something that's not targeted removal, which the deck cannot handle too well. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, this is definitely a favorite deck of mine. One that I cannot wait to bring to a Jank Locals and see what comes from it. Like I said before, make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.